Hello everyone and welcome to Vagabrothers in VR. I'm Alex and today I'm joined by a very special guest, Mr. Abbot Kinney.
Howdy do. My name is Abbot Kinney and I founded Venice of the Americas over 100 years ago. In this virtual reality video, Alex and I will be giving you a tour of Venice Beach in 360 degrees, showing you both how it was when I built it
and what it's like today as one of the coolest neighborhoods on the planet. So, if you have a virtual reality headset, do yourself a favor, put it on. If you don't, just plug in some headphones and let's go for a walk.
Unbelievable.
No, Abbot, come on. This way, out of the street. Let's go. Let's go.
Technology is
Yeah,
incredible.
what? There's a curve here. What? Oh! Okay, come on now. Right now, you're standing in the Bayona Lagoon. This is what Venice would have looked like in the late 1890s when Mr. Abbot Kinney, a wealthy tobacco merchant from out east, won the land in a high-stakes coin toss.
I had a vision. A replica of Venice, Italy, right here in Los Angeles. A one-of-a-kind cultural attraction unlike anything the world had ever seen. Come on, let me show you what I built. Now this is what I dreamed of. Over 2 miles of canals lined with beautiful summer cottages, plied by gondolas with authentic Italian gondoliers. A slice of European elegance right here in sunny California.
Unfortunately, only 3 blocks of these canals still exist. But it's a great place to take a stroll and get away from the city. Follow us to find out what happened to the rest of the canals. You know, Abbot, how much does one of these houses cost?
If you have to ask, son, it's too much money.
Nowadays, taking a selfie under the Venice sign is pretty much mandatory. But if you look closely, there's still traces of old Venice everywhere. Take, for example, these archways, colonnades, replicas from Venice, Italy.
That's because you're standing in what used to be St. Mark's Square, the heart of old Venice. You see, over there was a roller coaster. The Windward Circle used to be a swimming canal. And right here was an electric rail car connecting the canals of Venice with the city of Los Angeles.
Hey, let's take a selfie, Abbot.
Tag me on Instagram.
I will do that. This is the Boardwalk, the heart of modern-day Venice Beach. Every day, it's full of street performers, musicians, and tourists taking in the sights, much like they did 100 years ago.
But it looked much different then. Over here, I constructed a 1,200-foot pleasure pier, complete with an auditorium, a dance hall, and sophisticated events that I hoped would spur a cultural renaissance here on the West Coast. But unfortunately, most people were more interested in the freak show.
Things didn't really work out the way Mr. Kinney here planned. By the 1920s, tragedies struck one after the other. Mr. Kinney died. His pier burnt down, and the prohibition of alcohol in the 1920s here in the United States dampened the spirit of the city.
But it didn't kill it.
It did not.
Thanks to something buried right beneath your feet. Let me show you. Shall we have a drink?
We shall. Welcome to the Monte Speakeasy, the oldest continuous bar in Los Angeles, 1 block from the beach, but more importantly, 1 story underground.
During Prohibition in the 1920s, this was a speakeasy, a secret bar serving illegal alcohol. You see, I built a system of drainage tunnels underneath Venice that emptied out at the pier. It was not my intention, but it did make a discreet spot for rum runners unloading boatloads of booze under the cover of darkness.
This bar was the first stop for bootleggers shipping hooch across the entire city. All of it hidden underneath an innocent-looking grocery store with a trap door that only opened if you had the right password.
To this day, the Monte Speakeasy makes the best old-fashioned in Los Angeles.
Cheers. That is a good old-fashioned.
Just like the old days.
My question, Abbot, is this. What did they call an old-fashioned back in the day?
Fun.
Well, there you go.
Now, while the bootleggers made good money, the Great Depression forced Venice into bankruptcy. It was annexed by the city of Los Angeles, which filled in my beautiful canals with concrete to accommodate a new invention, the automobile.
Then oil was discovered. 450 wells filled the canals with black sludge, turning the Venice of the Americas into the slum by the sea.
It made me roll in my grave to see how quickly our city bulldozes our history. But at least they renamed one of the old canals in my honor, Abbot Kinney Boulevard.
Nowadays, Abbot Kinney is home to some of the coolest shops and restaurants in Los Angeles, like this place, Intelligentsia Coffee. So don't worry, Abbot, your legacy lives on.
And the coffee is even better than Venice, Italy.
By the 1950s, the slum by the sea had some of the most affordable rents in LA, attracting artists and musicians like Jim Morrison, who founded the Doors while living in a cottage just like this one.
It warms my heart to see Venice become the cultural hub I had originally envisioned.
How about we head down to the beach and cool off, Abbot?
Sounds like a fine idea. You know, I don't recall Venice being this warm 100 years ago.
Yeah, well, some things have changed, Abbot.
I do agree. But one of the most enduring legacies of Venice was formed right here on the Great Pacific Ocean. You see, when my amusement pier burnt down, it created the perfect location for a new sport called surfing.
In the 1970s, a group of Venice surfers called Dogtown and Z-Boys revolutionized the sport of skateboarding, creating pool skating, which you can see here 365 days a year.
Now this concludes our tour of Venice of the Americas. As you've seen, this neighborhood has gone through many changes and continues to evolve. But it's still a place for dreamers, and that's the way I always wanted it to be.
If you do come visit Venice, don't just take a selfie and leave. Take a little bit of time to explore the real Venice. We guarantee you it'll be worth your while. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't already.
In the meantime, remember to stay curious, keep exploring, and we'll see you on the road, or maybe on the canal.
Or maybe at the bar. How's that sound?
Now you're speaking my language, brother. Let's go have a tipple in the Monte Speakeasy.
Only if you're paying, Abbot. Only if you're paying.